This episode is brought to you by Halfway Toyota.
This is new for me and Connor.
So we have just stopped in at Halfway Toyota in Maun. It's a bit of chaos at the moment because they're busy redoing the entire halfway here. It's going to look absolutely amazing once it's all done. So it's in a state of chaos at the moment with all the construction going on. But Andre and the team have kindly taken us in, and we've just brought the vehicle in for a little quick checkup and cleaning out the air filter, etc., and then we'll get back on the road just now. But big shout out to Halfway Toyota, and thanks so much for your guys' support and keeping the Safari family on the road, and looking super cool to coming back to Maun sometime to come and see what this all looks like when it's finished, because it's going to be absolutely amazing.
So this runs through the radiator, the wind blows through that, falls the small fins on the inside. Replace that gasket there, you see that silver one down there? That little switch here on the inside, when you switch it on to forward drive, you switch it on and it connects the front wheels.
Because look how high it is also.
So after arriving in Maun and spending a little bit of time with the guys at Ngami Toyota and going through the vehicle, we were scheduled to stop over at Sitatunga last night, which we did.
Welcome to the Safari family.
We were going to camp here, but I changed my mind. We took a little chalet for the night, a little cabin, a little 2-bedroom cabin, which was super cool. Everything we need just to chill out and relax a little bit. We've been on the go for a few days. It's about 10 kilometers outside of town to the west of Maun, which is awesome that you're not just in the sort of hustle and bustle of everything. Yeah, it's a great place for campers. There's sort of A-frame shelters to camp under or open campsites. There's some cabins to stay in. There's overlanding deals. There's swimming pools. There's a restaurant. There's games for the kids. So Sitatunga is a really, really cool place to just get out the way and come chill. So yeah, we'd highly recommend coming to Sitatunga. We thoroughly enjoyed our quick stay here, and would recommend it to any guys just wanting to tap out while coming through Maun and chill out for a day or two.
All right, team, so we have just arrived at Delta Meat Deli. We pre-ordered some meat. We sent them an email last week about what we wanted to order. You can send them an email, they'll send you their whole price list, and you can make an order and collect it frozen for when you're ready to go in and do what you need to do on your trip. So we're going to go in and collect our order and pay for it and head out. On our way out from town here in Maun, we've done some shopping at the new mall, at the Maun Mall, the Mall of Maun, and it's quite a mall. It's got everything. So if you're driving in from down south, stop in there and you can get everything you need. There's a nice fuel station there as well. And then on our way out, as if you're heading up towards the Okavango side, the Moremi side, on your way out of town on the right hand side there is Okavango breweries, and we stopped in here at Okavango to get some of their local craft beer and to test run some of that on this tour. And there is a lovely coffee shop here as well. You can get eats and drinks, and there's a kiddies playground area, so that's fantastic to maybe add this into your itinerary. Stop off here and see what's going on here. All right, and then we're going to make our way up to Shorobe now. We'll catch you all there. So we are staying with friends of ours, good friends Gareth and Rob's Flemix at Shorobe this evening. We just stopped in at their work to say hi. They are frantically packing. They have got a couple of safaris back to back coming up in the Kalahari, which they are going to go back down to next week. So they got 30 odd days back to back of safari. So the workshop is chaos. There's vehicles and equipment, Land Rovers with their bonnets open and equipment being loaded everywhere. And so we're going to leave them up to it, a quick hi, and we'll see them a little bit later at their house. So we're going to hit the road and go to their place now. So we've got to Gareth and Rob's place up outside Shorobe, sort of half within the delta. We've been here a few times with them before, and they're going to get back a bit later because they're still sorting stuff out for safari.
So we're taking the dogs for a walk and doing some birding and see what elephants we can see or whatever. Connor boy and I have just been taking a walk up along the Komoti River here and doing some birding and getting Connor to practice his photography and finding a couple of spots where the community's been using gill nets, catching some fish for consumption, which is cool. However, often these nets get discarded when they get all tangled up and torn and broken, and maybe by elephants or hippos, crocodiles. And we found this net laying in the grass right here, and just explaining to Connor, like, all sorts of things get caught up in these nets when they just get discarded, and including birds. And as I said that, Connor was like, "Oh no, there's a pied kingfisher, Dad." And as he lifted it up some more, and here we have a pied kingfisher caught in this net. And very unfortunate. And I think what happens with these guys is these nets catch little bream and that, and the kingfisher sees the bream, doesn't notice the net. Obviously it's very fine and transparent, and dives down, catches the fish, and in the meantime gets himself all wrapped up and tangled up in the net and dies. And here's a case of it happening right here. Now it's pretty sad. And this nets just get left laying around, which can cause a whole bunch of damage in itself. So it's very unfortunate. The sort of the collateral damage with these nets is quite big.
Kingfishers are my favorite birds, and especially the half-collared. But this is probably like my third favorite kingfisher. I just don't like to see this dead.
Oh, yes, you're actually... Connor, you came in with a double there.
Oh!
He likes the 500.
They're double spinning.
We love visitors, we love to sing. We are eating marshmallows, having fun.
And we have our friends from KwaZulu-Natal here in the Okavango Delta, and we're so blessed to have them, and these two and their dad, to be with us in the Okavango Delta.
And my
Brian,
marshmallows, my ballowing.
So it is a new morning. We have left Shorobe this morning, our friends at Shorobe, and we have now hit the famous road that heads up to Moremi, to the cattle fence. So we are on the bouncy dirt road, the corrugated road, and we are slowly making our way to Mankwe today. Those of you traveling this road with all your overland equipment, vehicles and stuff, make sure it's latched down nice and tight, because you're going to rattle your way all the way up to Moremi or Kwai or wherever you're going. Some serious corrugations and dips and goes here. So make sure everything is tied down, because it's going to be rattled loose, including your fillings by the time you get there. But anyway, it's all part of the adventure. So we have just arrived at Mankwe. We just had a look around. It looks absolutely beautiful here. Come into reception to the main camp.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
And you are?
Hello.
Hannah. Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
Alan.
meet you. Can we get a massage?
Right on, everybody. So we have arrived at our campsite at Mankwe. So they've got 6 campsites here. It's really cool. We check in at reception, and then they jump in a cruiser and they drive to show you where your campsite is, and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, and you just go deeper into the bush. Eventually rock up at your campsite, and it's in the middle of nowhere, super remote. Look at this. This is our site here. So we've got our own ablution over there. It's got 2 sets of toilets and showers. It's a bucket shower. So obviously there's nothing out here. There's water, but it's obviously quite salty water, and not really for drinking, but for showering, etc. But for hot water, boil the water on the fire, and it's got a bucket shower. Hoist that up and use your bucket shower for a hot shower. But lovely little facility over there. It's great to have your own ablution, and then this is our campsite, man. Look at this beautiful big old acacia here. So there's a little high point there. We're going to probably put the 3x3 up there. Now that we're going to be here for 5 days, we'll not necessarily use the rooftop too much, maybe a little bit if the kids want to, but we're going to set up nicely here and get ourselves settled in for a few days of wilderness. And then, yeah, we're just in the bush. So we sort of mixed Mopani, Terminalia, scrubland here along Carpus, and yeah, elephant tracks in camp and hyena and all of that. So looking forward to spending the next few days here and then going up and exploring Kwai and Northgate and that area. But let's set up camp. First night in Mankwe, and time for a great rump steak and a good old dose of Billy the Kid bull dust beef spice. Got a wonderful campfire going in the background. The kids are filthy dirty behind me, playing in the sand as they have all afternoon. I've just had a nice warm bucket shower and about to cook some supper. Lovely afternoon, time for a G&T and to enjoy the day. Cheers guys, we'll see you tomorrow on a journey up to Kwai and hopefully some awesome game viewing. It's a beautiful morning here at Mankwe. We had a pretty uneventful night last night, heard jackal, and we heard spotted hyenas, and the hyenas were in camp last night, but they were quiet in camp. There's just lots of tracks around camp this morning, but they behaved themselves. And also heard some ellies in the distance, and this morning ellies not too far away down here rumbling. So just a nice chilly morning. We're going to grab a cup of coffee and a quick bite to eat, and then we are going to make our way up to Kwai this morning to go and do some game viewing. Alright, so we have just arrived up at Northgate. There's a link road that we took from Mankwe, heads through all the Mopani, pretty long quiet drive, and we've come to the inside of the gate at Northgate. So we're going to go and just pay there for the day, and then we're going to go and cruise around and do some game viewing.
Welcome to Moremi. So right now there's three ground hornbills next to this stream, and it's behind this big termite mound, and we just turn around to take some pictures of them. It's so stunning. They're just jumping over it and eating and drinking. It's so nice.
So we've had a wonderful morning game viewing up here in from Northgate up along the Kwai River, and we've just been exploring, really, just taking all the roads. The Gaia GPS app is super useful in navigating your way around, so I'd highly recommend Gaia just for all your travels, actually anywhere. I've always used it for about 3 years now. So we had a lovely drive in to make our way to Hippo Pools. Got here to have some food, some lunch, and Connor Boy has made us some tuna mayo rolls, which is fantastic, and the kids are having a juice and I'm having a G&T, and just climbed up the very sketchy hide here at Dombo Hippo Pools, and be careful, the stairs are falling apart. The termites have got a hold of this thing properly, and it's pretty risky getting up here. But the view from up here, when you've made it up, is pretty beautiful. We've got a lot of hippos out here making their way to the water. I've got some elephant there, more hippos, some crocodile, an open-billed stork, jacanas, pied kingfishers, a lot of bird life around us. We've got Pirate Batis, we've got Chinspot Batis calling, Heartlib's Babbler right there, Greyback Comaroptera, and yeah, just a whole host of other things out there. So yeah, it's really pretty. It's a lovely spot, this hippo pool, and definitely worth making the effort, driving and getting yourself here to the pool. And in screaming through all this woodland, this Mopani woodland on the way back to Mankwe, which is just a long straight road for 45 kilometers. Now on my right hand side I saw a special for the Mopani woodlands. It's called an Arnott's Chat, and there were actually 3 of them, and they were super chilled, and they were right here, and Connor managed a whole bunch of cool photographs. But what that means with the Arnott's Chat, that's a really cool way to do it, is Connor Curtis gets his 300th species of bird. Look at that, boy. You have now joined the 300 Club. Connor Curtis from the SA Listers Club. Your 300th bird, big guy. Well done, man.
Thank you.
Well done, my big guy. Yay, that's cool, eh?
Yeah.
And that's a special bird to get your 300th with. Hey, man. Well done. So Hannah got this a while ago, but Connor's got there now, so super proud of him.
So this is a elephant tusk. This is a very, very old tusk. We just found a line here while we were driving, so it's actually quite heavy. We just thought we'd take a picture with it and move on.
Morning, everybody. We had a beautiful night last night. It was uneventful. Actually didn't hear much at all. Heard some lions far in the distance. Got up this morning. There's some impala out behind me. Got the fire going, and time for a proper cup of coffee this morning. So that was pretty cool. It's a cloudy morning, and we have decided to head down to Southgate this morning. And go and explore some of the areas down there, and we are heading down the road back towards Cattle Fence to take Southgate Road, the main drag from Semkuyu, and we had a whole pack of wild dogs crossing the road in front of us as we just cruising down chatting. So that's really neat. A nice pack of probably 10 to 15 wild dogs, and we also saw a honey badger just coming out of camp. It was too quick, we didn't get any footage of it. But super lucky morning. I mean, our first 2 animals of the day was honey badger and African wild dog. That's cool. So we're looking forward to what lays ahead of us today. All right, let's go to Southgate, Moremi.
So right now I'm doing a list of species that we have seen on this trip, and we've seen about 27. But we're still going to see a lot more because we still have to go to Vic Falls in Zimbabwe, and there's probably going to be lots more there. This young elephant bull on the left hand side came and knocked down this massive tree, and it's so cool because they use their trunk, and it's just their trunk is so hard that they push the tree down and it just snaps. But now he's busy eating, and now there's 3 here. The one on the right hand side, that one came to steal food, and now this younger one has just came in.
so special to be down here on the Komoti. We've spent a bit of time on the other side, Korokwe side, NG32, a few years ago, and we actually saw, I think it was 22 lions had killed 9 buffalo, if memory serves me correctly, just further up on the floodplains, on the Komoti floodplains. But this river's beautiful. There's some hippo down here, a lot of bird life, white-faced whistling duck, darters, cormorants, fish eagle, white-browed kukul. There's some crocodiles, yeah, chicanas, all the normal stuff, but it's absolutely stunning.
The babies are ugly. Very good. Right now I have a white-faced owl behind me. This is new for me and Connor. And I love the sound, and it's kind of creepy for some reason because it has like red eyes, but it's a cool spotting.
We have had lots of inquiries from people over time about our camping setup. So I thought I would just take this time to show you what we as the Safari family use. Our setup, every setup is different. Everybody's got different ideas, things that work for them. But we've had questions about ours, so I thought I'd give you a bit of a guided tour of our setup while we're camping here for 5 days at Mankwe. At this point, I just want to mention that nothing has been sponsored. In none of these products I'm promoting for any other reason other than we use them. I have purchased everything I've bought, I've saved up, I've sold things to buy other things, and I've done what I can. Now, you don't need all of this stuff, and there's a lot more that we could also do, but it's where you are and what you can afford. So with what I can afford to do right now and set up, this is how we roll. I've got obviously a double cab 2.4 automatic Toyota Hilux, a 2020 model Toyota Hilux, and I've got a front runner roof rack on the cab, and I've got a front runner roof rack on my Smart Cap Evo canopy. Really, really awesome canopy. Now, on the side of that canopy, I have a gull wing with a kitchen unit in there. It is actually from an older model, but I managed to get a hold of it through a friend of mine, so I modified and cut and grinded and made a plan and got it to fit. So the kitchen unit is really cool. I find it super useful. I have a LU cab 270-degree awning. Awesome, absolutely amazing, love it. It takes less than a minute to open up and less than a minute to fold away, and just provides great shade or a little bit of shelter if it's drizzy for a while. On top of the front runner, on the cab, there is I've got a spade on the side. I use a spade all the time for various reasons and purposes. Got a 40-litre water container that I've adapted a tap to it with a hose that I clip in, and that just comes down the side of the vehicle to be able to get to water, to wash hands, drinking water, whatever. And on the other side is another front runner bracket with 2 20-litre water jerry cans, just for extra water if needed. I don't obviously keep those full all the time unless I'm needing water or we're going into a remote area like this or through the Savuti. So water containers, then in the middle, a bracket for a 9-kilo gas bottle. So that's the roof racks. That's all we got. Oh, and then the other side of the roof rack is a high lift jack and we call them a kalemba or a machete. That's just got a wing nut, easy to get off to cut trees and things that have fallen out on the road, or cut branches and camp or whatever. The rooftop tent is a Howling Moon rooftop tent on that side. It's a great rooftop tent. I really enjoy them. I think they're quick and easy to use, and there's a lot of space in these ones. At times the cover gets torn with the brush that you go through. I think ultimately, you know, this is our setup, but obviously we have goals and dreams. And I think a hard shell on top there would suit us a little bit better and easier to open and close than getting up there, zipping, folding. And you know, often that zip gets sticky and needs a bit of Q20 on there as well. Gathers dust, and so yeah, it's a great rooftop, and we use it often. I mean, we really do. But a hard shell at some point will be awesome. Just make life a little bit easier. You know, a lot of this, obviously, the kids have got their roles and the things that they do, but I'm the one that ends up doing it all the time, most of the stuff. 2 spare wheel brackets on there. I like to carry 2 spares for remote traveling, and on each of the spares, you'll see the spare wheel covers on there. By Mark at 4x4 Assist, they're absolutely amazing covers. They are top class. These are the 6-pocket ones. There's a bunch of places to put a bunch of things, and you probably end up losing stuff inside them. They're like these backpacks with so many pockets and pouches in them that you forget where things are. And before I forget, also attached to the front runner, I have the front runner table that slides and clips in below the roof rack, and it's super accessible. Really, really great place to store a table, and really convenient to be able to slide it out and use it wherever you're traveling on the fly. In the back of my Hilux now, because I use my vehicle for many different purposes, at this stage I don't have a sliding tray system in the back here, but I do have a fridge in the back there. So I have an auxiliary battery with a solar charge controller and a 1000-watt inverter and a battery point there, and run all of that either off of the vehicle while we're traveling, or I have a 200-watt solar panel, foldable solar panel, a ready solar panel system here. They work super efficiently. I'm very happy with these 200-watt panels. Inside the gull wing, I also have one of those pouches for a bench seat in a bakkie. And I've just pop riveted that onto the back here, and I keep a bunch of spare parts and ropes and tie downs, etc. inside there, just out of the way off the floor. And then what I do is I strap the solar panels up into the top of the canopy for storage. Keeps them safe as a flat unit. And then if we come around this side of the vehicle, obviously we have the gull wing on this side, which opens up as well on the smart cap, which I absolutely love. And this is where I get to my fridge through here, and just a nice easy way to get in there. And I clip the lid open against one of the eyelets on the top here, keeps the lid open while I'm trying to work in here, get stuff out and close it up. So that's pretty much my setup on this side of the vehicle. And inside the vehicle, if we go inside the vehicle, I have touched on this before. It's a pretty cool setup. Now, in the front of the car, I have a dash cover, I have escape gear seat covers, escape gear dash cover. 4x4 Assist does all of this stuff as well, and I got these awesome visors, sun visor pouches from them on both sides from Mark. It's an absolute win to put wallets in and pens and papers and whatever else you need. I do have a series of magnetic night ease points for the cell phones. I have a Garmin GPS as well. Drive Smart 65, so it's a couple of years old, but it works great and tracks for Africa on there. I have Old Man Emu suspension on the vehicle with the extra spring on the back, just to help with that weight load, that payload that we've got on the vehicle. You know, there is a lot of weight on the back end, especially when you put these rear bumpers on and you have, you know, 2 spares on the back sitting far back, you know, away from the axle. It just all adds to that weight. So yeah, just be careful not to overload your vehicle if possible, and try and, you know, obviously
with the roof racks, one ends up putting a lot of stuff there from a safety perspective of, you know, your roll factor of the vehicle and your control of the vehicle. Just try and distribute your weight as evenly as possible over the axles. I have wired in an extra light on the back, LED light, just to help with reversing. Now, due to my bad back scenario, I need a good night's sleep. Maybe it's just getting old, and I opt to sleep on a stretcher bed. And so I have a heavy-duty stretcher. You will see the kids are in here now, chilling out. I have a stretcher bed with the mattress on there, little Z-fold mattress. We also use those Lumio blow-up mattresses that work very well, especially when we're hiking. Yeah, so a 3x3 dome provides a lot of space, actually. Nice to be able to stand up, change clothes and all of that. That's one thing with the rooftop tents, which is great as a on-the-fly go, as what I mentioned earlier. But there's nowhere to really change. You can have those drop-down shower units off the side, which work really well. But there's nowhere to really stand up and change and get things sorted out. So, you know, if you're staying somewhere for a few days like we are now, a 3x3 tent just works great. And they're relatively easy to set up and don't take up too much space. And I also find very useful is one of these mini blowers, especially up here in Botswana where it's so dusty. And when you get somewhere and you have been absolutely smothered, everything's full of dust. This blower is great to just clean out the vehicle, clean out your tent, clean out whatever. So a little blower is definitely worth having. It's really small, packs away nice and easy. And also a good sort of heavy duty compressor. You know, you get little cheap compressors, but you know, your liters per minute it takes you forever. When you're in the sand, like up here, and you're deflating, inflating 4 tires, it can take forever, and they heat up as well. And if it breaks on you, then you've got a problem. So, just a good heavy duty 4x4 compressor. Like everybody else on the Overland channels, the Indiflate. We use the Indiflate I've got for the two tire ones, which we deflate 2 tires at the same time, and then we'll do the other 2 afterwards. But it definitely speeds up your deflating and just evens out your pressures quite nicely. Camping chairs. Now, I know it's great to have these big elaborate sofas, and you know, it's part of your luxury to be able to sit in these big things, but I find that they just, when you're pressed for space, sometimes it's a bit overkill. And I picked up these little chairs in the States, these Ascends, but there are a lot of varieties that are out in South Africa now, and we use them for backpacking as well, and hiking, and for school sports and all sorts of things. And they fold up into a tiny little bag, and they take 2 seconds to open up, and they're super comfortable. Sit around a fire. Doesn't look like they'll take weight, but trust me, they do. I think they're rated up to like 200 kilos. And I just find them super useful. They don't take up any space, and you can just throw them in the corner of the vehicle somewhere. We have always used this, it's an older RSI stainless steel braai. I just prefer having my braai with my grid on it and knowing what I have every time I go somewhere, and it takes up no space. And one more item that I nearly forgot to talk about that I find is super, super useful are these telescopic ladders. Now, obviously on your rooftop tent, it normally has its own ladder, but to get one of these bad boys that folds down to nothing, it's super strong, and folds dung, 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 back down. And when you're trying to get onto your roof rack and you're trying to get a gas bottle off or get to your ammo boxes, these vehicles don't have many places to put your feet. So this little bad boy is an absolute win. So yes, in a nutshell, that is our setup. As I say, there are things that we'd like to still do or upgrade, and one day even go back to a Land Cruiser again would be amazing. But the Hilux does us well. We just love our setup. It works for us. And like I say, you don't need to have all of those things. You can get by with just, you know, whatever you have or whatever you can afford. But the main goal is just to get out there and go camping. Everybody's got a different setup. I think it's a great hobby to be able to go out to campsites and walk around and look at everybody's setups and who's done what, and steal ideas and borrow, you know, thought processes and experiences that people have had and the reasons why they do things the way they do things. And campers are super friendly people, and they want to engage, they want to share their ideas, their experiences and their reasonings why they do things. So camping is just absolutely fantastic. And For the kids, I mean, the amount of friends that the kids make running around campsites, not here. There's nobody on site where we are right now, unfortunately, for the kids. But generally in other campsites, there's a lot of kids flopping around and playing on bicycles and that, and they make friends and off they go and they do their thing.